or if anybody has any time constraints? Do you have to be done in an hour or anything?
I don't have any constraints, no.
I don't have any.
Okay.
Oh, he won't be able to do that with sound anyways.
Yeah,
It's gonna give, it'll gonna give feedback.
I don't
but
have any constraints, no. But we have, because we're here. we
It's
have
gonna
to
give
do it
feedback.
tomorrow.
That's all right, I got.
Oh, okay, okay, perfect.
Okay, you need to sign out of that though, or at least mute it.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're just trying to get Jeff settled. All set? Okay. Yes, you're ready. Go ahead.
So I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. And I would like to welcome everybody to the second Zoom meeting of the Little Compton Free Public Library's Board of Trustees. Today is Wednesday, September 16th, and the time is 6 minutes past 12. Present are Nancy Osborne. Say hi, Nancy.
I'm here. Thanks for waiting. Hi.
And Lucy Duhamel
Present.
and Jeff
Present.
Kenyon and Michelle Stecker
I'm here.
and our wonderful board of the library, or the director of the library, Beth Ryan.
I'm here.
All right. So on the agenda today, we start with the secretary's report. If the secretary would care to give a report.
Yes, Lucy Duhamel. I am going to ask everybody if I could have a motion for the minutes to be approved.
I approve. I second the motion.
Wait, someone has to first it.
Someone has to make the motion first.
Jeff, I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Okay, second
Okay, second. Cindy,
is,
By Cindy Sheldon was second.
Yeah.
All right, then Cindy, you should do a roll call to get their answer on how they vote.
okay. We know Jeff and we know
They
Lucy.
still have to say it. They still have to say it.
I have a little discussion. I'm sorry. The reason I was late was because I was watching the YouTube video and all the things I forgot to do with the bylaws that I was supposed to do, but I was reminded of. But one thing that happened was I see that in Lucy's minutes, she says, the board, Lucy motioned for an approval of a change to Article 2's mission statement, and that was approved. We also approved one other thing. So Lucy, I need an amendment to the minutes.
okay, can you repeat that then, please?
Yes, I can. At minute 25 in our Zoom video, we also approved a change Section 2 to Article 3, Section 2 of the bylaws to include the words officers including in the second sentence. So
We also approved Article 3, Section 1.
Wait, can we just stay with Nancy for a minute, please?
For a moment, she wants to deal with Nancy's and then we can take Michelle's comment too.
Yeah, because I have, here it is. Okay, Section 2, Article 3.
no, sorry, reverse. Article 3, Section 2, powers. We approved adding to the second sentence the words officers including.
Okay,
All right. That'll be reflected in the bylaws.
okay.
Michelle, your comment?
Yeah, we also approved, according to the video, that Nancy would add wording in Section 3, no, Article 3, Section 1, at the bottom of the first paragraph that would say the trustees may by a 2/3 vote. And so I just put the wording in there that Nancy added, and we did approve that whatever Nancy came up with, we agreed generally on the gist of what that would say.
Can you repeat that? It's hard to hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. So on Article 3, Section 1,
Yeah,
appointment, after it says the responsibility of the town council, the board at the last meeting agreed that Nancy would come up with wording that would include the trustees with a 2/3 vote could recommend to the town council that someone be removed, an action to remove a trustee.
Well, I would argue that no one could agree to any language that I had yet to write down. So I think I was tasked with proposing language that then we would discuss.
Correct.
Okay,
That's
yes.
what I have on the minutes.
Yeah, and that's reflected in the bylaws draft that I sent you all.
Right, but it's still strictly a proposal.
Yes,
And-
we porched that, or whatever the word is.
We tabled it.
We tabled it because we did not approve that.
Yeah, not knowing what I would come up with, I don't think you can say that
Yes.
you
Yes,
approve
and
it.
Nancy is right. I have it right here. Article 3, Section 2, officers including, and I have all the votes of the people who voted.
So that's the only change I had to your minutes, Lucy. I don't know if anybody else has any.
Okay, perfect, Nancy. Thank you.
You still have a motion on the floor that was to accept them. I would suggest, since Jeff made the motion, that he amends his motion to accept them as corrected. And then Cindy would have to agree to that if she wants to continue the second.
All right, Jeff, I'll make a motion
To what?
to,
To accept the minutes as corrected.
oh, okay, to accept the minutes as corrected.
And
Did
Do
Cindy-
I have a second?
I second. Nancy Osborne seconds. Okay, do we need a vote?
Cindy Sheldon seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
Can we take a roll call?
Yes, and we might need to move this meeting
Okay.
along, otherwise you're gonna lose connections, I'm afraid.
Okay, Michelle Stacker,
I approve.
and Nancy.
Yep, I accept the minutes. Yes, I approve.
So all in favor?
No, Jeff, do you approve?
Jeff, do you approve?
Say that you're gonna have to repeat.
Just do you approve what you put on the table?
As a motion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I approve.
Okay.
And Lucy Duhamel, I approve.
Okay.
Okay.
We are
All
all-
board members then approve for the minutes to be accepted as amended.
So it's
and-
unanimous.
It is. The internet is telling me it's unstable, and it's probably the hazard of Cox. So I would suggest you move things as expeditiously as possible.
Okay, I would like to go to new business. We need to appoint a board member to monitor technology developments as they apply to the library, specifically referring to the open meeting laws. I would like to recommend that Jeff Kenyon, who is such a good hand with Robert's rules, consider accepting this task because he's really good at it. Jeff?
Jeff, yes. Yes, I printed out last year's paperwork from the annual AG's meeting. I'm going to look at this year's video and bring myself up to date. And I think by the next meeting, I should feel confident in accepting that role.
Okay.
So that's a yes then?
So that is a yes.
Okay, so we will take that as a conditional yes.
Mhm.
And
Jeff, thank you.
can we have a roll call vote on the conditional yes?
Well, I make a motion that we honor your request, and Jeff has said yes.
Okay, so we can just move right along to the next thing.
Second, who's going to second it?
Okay,
I'll
second,
second.
Michelle did.
Okay.
we'll never get the hang of this.
And then roll call?
Okay, let me do the roll call. It might be easier.
Yeah.
Michelle,
Yes, I agree.
Cindy,
Yes, I agree.
Nancy,
Yes, I agree.
Jeff,
Yes, yeah.
and Lucy.
Yes.
Okay, unanimous.
On to our old business, which is the bylaw amendment to Article 3, Section 3.
Section 1, I think, isn't it?
No, it's Article 3, Section 4, pardon me, Section 4, the removal of a trustee.
Um,
We've all had a chance to look at Michelle's suggestion and at Lucy's suggestion. I would like to add a third suggestion, which is a bit of both. And I would like to read to you the outcome of the third suggestion.
I would like to interrupt for a minute. I withdraw my suggestion completely.
you-
Okay,
Which is the 2/3 vote
No,
recommend.
that's your suggestion. I thought we had agreed that we would just add your suggestion to the appointment to section 1.
No,
Because,
we have not agreed or approved anything.
well, the bylaws state that the town council has the power to remove a trustee, not the board.
I don't know that that's what it does. I think what you're pointing to is it says concerning disqualifications and vacancies on the board, decisions will be the responsibility of the town council. But I don't think you can equate disqualification with removal.
Okay, all right, I did, but that's fine. I don't care.
Well,
I just did. I just equated it with that.
I mean, we had some discussion at the last meeting and Carol made the point if we wanted to, and, give the town council that right to, weigh in or, approve, we could, but I don't know that we have to. Carol, I just don't see that we have to involve the town
Well,
council.
I could talk to Bob Munchin and see where he comes down on that.
I
Well,
would like to keep this in our own house. There's no need to ask the town council to get involved when we can set up our own bylaws and live by them. They're not complicated or tricky.
No, and I'm fine with that, but we don't have the power to fill an empty position.
I think Carol has an answer to this.
Oh, good.
well, my only answer is the town council is the appointing authority, but
Right.
your bylaws do dictate how you operate as a board.
Okay.
So if you do amend your bylaws to give you some level of authority to remove a trustee for whatever reason may be dictated, that then creates a vacancy and the council gets involved to make the new appointment. The
Right.
board doesn't make the appointment, the town council would make the new appointment.
Okay.
But I believe what you're trying to do is give yourself a tool to be able to remove a trustee for just cause.
Correct.
Great. I would agree. And I think that's what Michelle was saying too,
Yeah.
that the authority, you're right. Okay. So moving forward, Cindy, you had language you wanted to propose.
Any trustee may be removed either with or without cause at any time by a majority vote of the trustees during any meeting, whether annual or special, as long as any such special meeting is called for this purpose and the notice of any meeting states that action to remove such a trustee will be considered. The board will also consider accepting the written resignation of the identified trustee in lieu of termination by vote.
And is this the language you sent to me and that I sent out to everybody to consider?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so everybody should have had this language prior to this meeting.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, I think we need to add just cause in there, not just willy-nilly. We're just don't like somebody, so they're out.
I make a motion to accept it as is.
I'll second that.
Cindy.
Again, I think we have a responsibility as a board to really step up and have just cause rather than just say, well, we just don't like this person. I think that we're really shirking our responsibility. And why holding a person accountable? Hopefully there have been a side conversation with that person, that they're not meeting snuff. They don't attend meetings. They show up drunk or whatever. But to be side blinded, this really allows someone to be blindsided rather than, it should be expected by that person.
I think those might be two different things, though. I mean, yes, you could, have a side conversation with them, but once you say, with cause, you have to define cause, and that gives everybody I think that's hard. I think you want with or without cause, but yes, of course, you should take somebody aside and say, listen, you got to step it up, come to meetings.
I don't think there's anything wrong with including that in the bylaws, rather than just saying, the board wants to kick somebody out and we can do that no matter what. I just think that's not professional.
Is everyone ready to take a vote on this?
I am.
Yes,
Okay. I make a motion to approve the language that Cindy has read and sent to us prior to this meeting.
I'll second that.
That was
Right.
Cindy.
there
Okay.
discussion?
Nancy?
I don't have any, I think now, is there any more discussion? Does anybody want to say anything about it or weigh in on cause or not cause, or? I'm
Well,
ready to vote.
I'd weighed in on cause, so that's,
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
for me
All right.
personally, I heard the discussion and I'm ready to vote.
Okay, all right, so want to call for a vote?
I
Cindy?
just did, yeah.
All right,
I
I'm in-
seconded I seconded it.
So how do you vote, Nancy?
I'm in favor of Cindy's proposed wording.
Okay, Jeff, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Jeff votes yes. Michelle?
I'm opposed.
Okay, you're opposed. Okay,
Cindy?
The motion carries.
Wait,
No,
four-
no,
Cindy?
wait a minute. Cindy, we need to have to do the roll call. So Cindy, how do you vote?
I vote for.
Okay,
okay, and I'm Lucy, I vote yes.
okay. So it's 4-1 in opposition.
And so the motion is passed.
Yes.
Okay, and that is active immediately.
Okay,
Okay, and now we go on to review the long-range plan 2017 to 2021. By the way, the results of this plan are not due until next January.
Oh, good.
So, it's not as though we have to walk out of our respective Zoom meetings accomplishing this. I have reviewed the long-range plan and think that much has been done in the 4 years the plan was pulled together. And I don't see a whole lot that needs to be done other than perhaps some new light bulbs, some brighter light bulbs. Honest to God, I think Beth has done an exceptionally good job.
Well, I could say that, I guess it was in 2018, we paid an interior designer $1,500 to come up with a plan to reorganize the library's floor plan. And that was just dropped and nothing came. I mean, she sent us a plan, we discussed it at 2 or 3 meetings, and then so many changes in the board members, it just kind of went away. But that's $1,500 that we still have. We can still call on the designer to, respond to her and see if we can move forward with that.
I have 2 recollections on that. One was, Michelle, you were going to call her up
I
and
did.
pound on her door, so to speak, and
Right.
ask for additional ideas for the amount of money that we spent. All we got was the same room cleared of furniture. So,
Yes, I did. And I reported back that, we're going to have to pay extra if she wanted to come back and make any changes.
okay, so we can,
If you'd like, I can look into it and quantify that. And maybe me and one other person, or I don't care if I'm involved or not, can look at the plan and have some ideas of what changes we want to make before talking to her and then seeing how much she costs. And I don't need to be involved. I just wanted to bring that up.
yeah, I need to myself look again at the floor plan that she gave us. It was basically the same room removed of stacks and furniture, or the furniture was rearranged on the stackless floor.
Yes, and we did discuss having to really cull the stacks.
Yeah.
And that Beth, and we talked with Beth, we talked about it. It's a huge job to do that. And so I think it's, we can have maybe some kind of plan about culling, some kind of time frame. Maybe we can create a budget to get it done. And the parameters. I know that Beth is probably intimately familiar with every book on every shelf. And we don't want to just, have someone blindly just take a book out because it hasn't been checked out. But there needs to be some kind of broad measure where the books get culled.
I
Rather
agree.
than have Beth cull every book. So before we can do any changes in the furniture, we got to get rid of some of those books.
Beth, do you have any ideas on how to get rid of the books other than the big bonfire, which I don't.
First of all, we're constantly doing that all year round. You're talking like a major project
Yeah.
to, so it needs to have a plan, an idea, and someone to help, right? Because we do it all year round, but
Last time I asked you though, you said there wasn't not a net decrease in the books on the shelves year to year. I'm pretty sure you told me there was not a net decrease year to year in the books on the shelves.
So you take out the old ones and replace them with new ones.
Or do you have a number of how many books have been reduced last year?
no, I could not give you that number right now.
Oh, that's fine. You don't have to right now, but maybe I can follow up with you on that.
I will have to see, I will have to ask about that, what kind of a report I can get on that.
Okay, cool.
Will you do us all a big favor and call for help from the trustees? If you need us to count books or sort books or throw books out or whatever.
Absolutely.
You've got people here who just sitting here twiddling our little thumbs.
Especially for all of 2020. And I think you have a program that can show you what books haven't been checked out over 10 years. And we can even start there.
Oh, yes, we run reports on that all the time. That's what we work off of, those sheets.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll just do a particular section, like the large print or the nonfiction or the juvenile easy, right?
Can I, sorry for interrupting, but can we go back on task about what the specifics are about the long-term range? I mean, what the conclusion is?
That's one of the specifics that I wanted to bring up.
Can I just mention something? We do not have to have that updated until July 1st.
July. I'm sorry, I said January, July.
Right.
Oh, good.
Because
Okay.
our plan is ineffective until that day.
Okay.
So this is something you can think about over the coming months. And
Yeah, it's a real work in progress. I just wanted to bring that up, not to make any decisions, but just something for us all to think about. How we're going to move towards that.
No, I agree. So I heard number of books, and then I heard, I guess a consultant was brought in and made some suggestions.
Not on calling the books, just on rearranging the layout of the library.
Well,
And
no,
her-
no, I'm saying she made some, or he made some suggestions.
Yeah,
And Michelle, you're going to follow up with them. This was before my time.
no, I know it's before everybody's time, pretty much. It was before my time too. But implementing any of her suggestions is going to require major culling, like maybe a third or more than that of the books that are there, because there's not any room to reorganize the furniture. So in a way, it's kind of I can talk to her, but it's a moot point until we make room to have some changes made.
Okay, so books need to be removed, and we can all look at the suggestions that the consultant had.
Yeah, I think maybe we ought to come up with a plan, or work with a plan to remove the books, not like today, but maybe in the next couple of months, of how the book's going to be removed. And once we have that plan, we have timetable for getting rid of those books, then we can seriously talk to the consultant, Kyra, and see how long it's going to take to move forward.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want it really simple, like 1, 2, 3.
I agree.
So we're going to look at books, look at the consulting thing, and come up with suggestions, correct?
That sounds quite reasonable. I
Can
think
we just talk to Beth for a second?
Sure.
Beth,
her plan was not approved by the board before.
No,
We
wasn't.
didn't really like her plan.
right.
So, but you're saying we go back to her and let her redo it? I don't know.
Well, we talked about it with you and also a couple other people there at the library, and basically just my feeling, I think the board we talked to you about this, it's a dramatic change, and it was more of a resistance to that dramatic change than even, parts of the plan seems good to some of us, and it was more of a total rejection because it was such a big change. And I think, we've already invested some money, and I think maybe I can talk to her without spending more money. And, I've had the notes from some of the objections that were had, like 2 of them that, are pretty hard objections, and see if you can, make some adjustments. But we can't really move forward with it until we get rid of even if we don't do a new plan, we still have to get rid of the books.
Okay, I hear you, Michelle. Can like Jeff and I and Nancy get a copy of this report?
Sure. I'd be glad to give you one. I've got the floor plan that she wrote out. and the location of the furniture and the floor plan, where the books, the stacks would go.
Okay, that sounds great. If you can forward that report to us.
And this was all in by way of analyzing current space usage, the first thing on improving current condition. Is that what you're trying to achieve?
Not
Yeah.
so much improving, but making it a friendlier, usable library, like places to sit, that aren't just a chair against the window, take advantage of some of the windows architecture on the interior.
And was the library staff part of this?
No.
No, not the plan, but is this what they wanted? Did they come up with a wish list? Who came up with moving there?
I think the board did.
Yes, we agreed that we wanted to make better use of our space, but
Okay.
her plan really took away all our books. I mean, it also like blocked certain things. I mean, you have to look at it yourselves.
Okay.
It's, yeah, okay.
All right.
We'll all look at it.
We hear you. I think we all.
There were no stacks included at all in the plans. That, wasn't too reasonable, but we got to start somewhere.
Okay, well, I guess we should take a look at that. So, and work together. I think I'm hearing we need to work together on this, staff.
Yeah, I agree, because it's easier to talk about it once I've read it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that sounds great. So we'll get that in the next day or two.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And I'll give all of you copies of this. Michelle, do you have a copy
Yeah.
of?
Yeah, I do. I have everything.
Okay, I bet you do.
Yeah.
You're very thorough on that, and I admire that. Copies, plans. Okay. So we have decided to continue the review of the long-range plans 2017 to 2021 until a later date. And I will give copies of the floor plan and related documents to Jeff Kenyon, Nancy Osborne, and Lucy Duhamel. Are we agreed on that?
Yes, great.
That's good.
I would like to ask though, in terms of the long range plan, I think that you, Cindy, and Lucy are looking at that. And would it be okay, or any of us has suggestions to include, not like this needs to be included, but you can have suggestion, hey, we've thought about this. And you say, well, we've thought about it and we don't want to do that, fine. But
Absolutely. No question.
That
Absolutely.
would be a great help, right? New ideas, what we can do with everything. That would be great help. Everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
And the reason we have not been able to meet, as you all know, I was very ill this summer. So moving forward, we can look at it all together.
Yeah.
And I do think that we're creative, imaginative people who are well suited to take up the task of looking at and possibly redesigning sections of the library to enhance their usability, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do a couple of things. We can schedule our next scheduled meeting.
Can I interrupt? Can we do the treasurer's report?
Oh yeah, why not?
I have stuff to
Good
report.
idea. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to leave you out.
I'm so excited. I'm not that excited. So I'll give you the balances in a minute, but I went and looked on the website. There are basically no more CDs being offered. They're being offered at 0.2%.
Oh.
Our current CD is at 0.75%, which is 3 times the yield of the past 4 years. However, to get that same yield going forward, we'd have to have a 5-year CD. So that's kind of gone, the CD investment possibility, which isn't terrible. But if they come back, I'll let you all know. However, with the increase in our CD yield for 6 months, we earned $60 last year at 0.25%, and we're on track to earn $150 this year.
Woohoo!
Nice.
So, awesome.
Michelle.
Yeah, but it's going to automatically renew when it expires, which I think is November 20th, and it'll probably be at 0.2%. There's not much we can do about that.
Michelle, can you repeat those numbers?
Sure.
You just have to talk a little slower so she can
Yeah,
collect the
'cause
numbers.
that's,
I'm
Well,
sorry.
I would suggest that if it's in your report, Lucy, you can send Lucy your report and she can just incorporate your report in her.
I have the one as of, I have the one as of, I think 8/31, and I had requested one for today, so I don't know if the numbers you're talking about.
Well, the one I gave you was for July 31. So let me give you the numbers.
Okay,
for
July
today.
31.
Give you the numbers for today. The CD balance currently is $20,764.35.
Okay, and the other?
The checking account balance is $44. No, I'm sorry, $44,060.82.
Sorry,
Hey.
44,000.
44016.82.
Thank you.
Okay, got it.
There are
That
basically,
says, that says as of today?
yes, and there have basically been very few deposits. The last deposit we had was in June for $152, and I expect that's copy fees and late fees. So we call that miscellaneous deposit.
Yes. There has not been much collected since March 13th because all fines were waived. So yes, you see a drastic decrease. It's basically just copies and
Not
fax.
that drastic. You know, it's like 150 instead of 320. So, and I totally understand. I just wanted to, make sure everyone knows I'm up to speed. I'm paying attention. And that also, just so you know, we're earning a roughly $13 a month in interest right now.
All right.
That's going away, and I'll send that, to, who should I send that to, Lucy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we still considering trying to take money out of the checking account?
I don't think, we could do it for 6 months at 0.2%. And that's talking about $3 a month. And then if we did want to break it, it costs almost nothing to break the CD, but I'm not sure it's really, I don't know. It doesn't cost anything to buy a CD. It's up to y'all. I'm not like hot to trot, but
If we earn, what'd you say, $18 a month? No.
13.
13.
That's going away. We're going to, and starting in November, their highest rate's probably going to earn us $3 a month.
On the checking?
No, on the CDs.
No, but I'm talking about, okay, but on checking account,
You don't earn anything on the checking account.
right? So so is that irresponsible of us to have 44,000 in there, not earning anything?
Well, that was my question going back, because at
Right.
one point right before COVID hit, the rate was 1.25%. And we did not have a meeting to approve that. And then, so that went away. I don't think it's we're not being diligent by not doing something at 0.2%, but I will keep an eye on it. And if say it goes up to 0.75 in the next 30 days, we should call an emergency meeting
Okay,
and get that done. But I just don't think, anyone could criticize us for not doing it now.
Yeah.
And I can do some calculations, and email you if I think we need to do something, but it's just not much.
mhm.
And it'll have a different maturity date and everything will roll and it'll just be not worth it, I don't think. But it's up to you guys. I mean, whatever you want.
But that's your advice and that's fine. That's well taken. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Michelle.
Our next scheduled meeting, we can choose to have it either Tuesday, December 8th or Wednesday, December 9th, or Tuesday, December 15th or Wednesday, December 16th. I gave you the choice of the weeks because things get really hectic as you get closer to Christmas. And I didn't know whether people would prefer to have a meeting in December towards the beginning of the month. I suppose we could do it after Christmas, but by that time our nerves are so shot.
But we need to get the bonuses out before Christmas.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we decided, I think at the last meeting, that we needed to do a preliminary budget in November and look at that and approve that as a board.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Um,
I would say earlier in December rather than the later week.
we
Well, I
can-
think we should have a preliminary just budget discussion meeting in maybe 30 minutes, if that, in November.
How does that work for you, Beth? Well,
That's fine.
that's okay. All right, so I've got my November calendar here. We can meet the week. Are we happy meeting on Wednesdays or Tuesdays?
Day is fine with me.
Anybody have a preference?
No,
Okay, so we can, Tuesdays in November are the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th. Wednesdays are the 4th, the 11th, and the 18th.
Wasn't there the 3rd? Isn't that a Tuesday?
that's election day, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Vote.
I feel we should make it later in the month, like this, the middle, was it the 17th you said?
Yeah.
17th? Yeah, sounds
Tuesday,
good.
the 17th,
Yeah.
sound all right?
The End of the month.
Right,
is too
so
close.
you're saying Tuesday, the 17th of November.
What do you think, Beth?
I,
That would be fine, whatever you schedule.
Okay. All right, so it'll be Tuesday, the 17th.
And we're just going to put the budget on that agenda unless anybody has something pressing.
Okay,
and 11 o'clock?
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
and it will be for the purpose of, among other things, Christmas bonuses.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good too to do it then. That's a good idea.
okay, so I have a question. Is this just us or is this open to the public? Is this an executive meeting or is this open?
It's
to the
open to the public.
It's open because that's not the type of item that can be held in executive session.
Okay, thank you. So then we need a December meeting that's also open to the public. Is that what you're saying to, or not?
My feeling is, and I get with Beth, but the administration, town administration, Tony does such an extensive, detailed requirements for the budget that once we meet in November, we may need to meet again in December. Because there can be changes, adjustments, something
Yeah.
final. And
Yeah.
although I think we submitted the final in February last year, I'm pretty sure Tony wants it sooner than that.
That
Well-
sounds good.
You want to have a tentative meeting on Tuesday, the 8th of December at 11 o'clock? This would be a meeting that we could decide in November to cancel if we get everything done. And if we don't have everything done, then we will have a meeting in December all set up.
Well, the only thing is if whatever we decide in November on the budget, may pass that by Tony just as a draft. And I don't know if that gives him time to give us any feedback. That's too bad. We'll just do, yeah, let's just do the 5th, whatever you said, the 8th of December. That puts the ball in our, if he doesn't have time to look at it, that's not our fault.
Okay, so just to confirm, it's going to be December 8th, which is a Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Yeah,
Okay. And that is a meeting to follow up with the budget if we need it.
Or if we have any other items we could put on there too. Can't imagine what they are, but I don't know.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
needed.
so we have accomplished our agenda.
But wait, one more thing on the agenda. So I would suggest that Nancy Osborne type up what was approved today and leave it at the library for us to sign. We should get this.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, Michelle.
That Nancy Osborne can, type up the final bylaws and leave it at the library for us to sign, so we get this done and get this off the agenda.
Okay, so will you send her the bylaws that you have on the computer?
She has them.
I think I have them. If I don't, Michelle and I will talk, but that's fine with me. Okay.
I'm sorry, Nancy, do you have them?
Yes, I do. And if I don't, Michelle and I will talk. Well, I'm pretty sure I do, Michelle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can
'Cause I
just talk.
sent them out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything major.
Okay, so we are set. And I would like to say just before we close, that as of today, I have tendered my resignation from the Board of Trustees to start on September 30th. I've been on the board for 8 or 9 years. I've
Wow.
watched a lot of changes coming through. It's been really, really exciting. You wouldn't think that a library is really, really exciting, but I find it really exciting. The people who've been on the boards with me in the past have been creative, dynamic, imaginative, smart, cooperative team players. And I just know I'm going to miss that, but it's time for somebody else to stand up and fill in my shoes, which are not all that big. I would like the board to consider Nancy Osborne as somebody for president. Now, Nancy, you can throw your hat into the air and run out the door. There's no obligation in any of this suggestion, obviously, but you have skills and abilities that make you a really good candidate. So that's my spiel.
But we're gonna have to approve the new president at a board meeting. And so should we have we need to have an emergency board meeting before your resignation takes effect?
Oh, good point, Michelle.
I'm not a parliamentarian. I don't know if you can have a president elected with 4 people. If
Yeah,
you need a-
Well, I don't know what the process is personally. I think we just do vote on it as a board. But Cindy, I would say to you that, or I would ask you, is that it's only a week or 2 away, if I heard you correctly, for September 30th.
Correct.
Would you consider staying on until we could find a board member to come on board just to replace you as a number?
Sure, I could do that.
That'd be
Okay,
helpful.
that I would feel more comfortable with that personally.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to vote that you can't leave.
I second.
No, definitely not. No way, guys. Although, thank you for putting up that little bit of fuss. Yeah, I will stay on. If you know of anybody who you think would be, brilliant on the board of trustees, I encourage you to quietly get a big net, throw it over them, drag them to Carol Wardell, make them sign any documents that will get them on the board of trustees. And that'll be that.
Okay, we will do our job. We won't not do it, so you stay.
Okay, so I would now like to conclude this second Zoom meeting of the Board of Trustees. Yeah,
Were there any, I sent you all those spreadsheets yesterday. Were there any questions on that?
I haven't had time to peruse them, but they're in my budget file. And
Okay.
it's on my agenda to talk to you later this week and set up a meeting for us to pick up where we left off last year.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, what was that about?
Now, who did you send them to, Beth?
I sent them to all of you. I scanned them into a group email. Oh, you
I
didn't?
didn't, no,
I got it.
I didn't see that.
no.
All right, I'll have to go back when I go in today and check and see what happened to it.
I got it.
Send it.
Okay. Okay, and what is it exactly?
It's
Look at
just
this
last
stuff.
year's spreadsheets of the expenditures to the
Oh,
grant.
okay,
but
okay.
That'd be great if you could resend. I think Cindy's shaking her head. No, she didn't get it. Lucy didn't, and I didn't. So that would be great.
All right, and I do have one other thing to say.
I just-
I have decided to retire.
Yeah, no, Jeff didn't either.
Okay, wait, they didn't hear you, Beth, so they had a little sidebar going on here, so you have
Now I
to focus for a second. 'cause
Sorry.
Beth
I
has an
heard you.
Beth has an announcement.
I have decided to retire.
oh,
Look at, I'm getting emotional. After 42 years, it's time.
Wow.
That would take effect as of November 1st. But I will not leave. I will help in the process of hiring somebody new, helping that person. I mean, I hit the date of November 1st, but I will be available to help.
Well, congratulations to you, and we're very happy for you, and we're very sad for little Compton and us, but
Oh,
Wow.
thank you.
I ditto that. I had to put my hands over my eyes.
I do have a job description that I have printed up. I will send that with that other material today.
Oh, great.
You all look at it, approve it, and I would put it up on the Library of Rhode Island site and also Ocean State Library site. So, and you need to
great.
have it.
Is this for a replacement for you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
okay,
And
so we're gonna need to meet, I think, before November and talk about either a committee or some kind of search committee or whatever we're gonna need to do to fill
Or you
those.
could come up with, some of our requirements or something, I don't know. I
You
mean,
know, I agree with you, Nancy. I think with
Let me
all these
send you this.
potential changes, November is too
Should you
late.
pick a date in October where you can meet?
Yeah,
probably earlier. Well,
I
I'm,
agree.
I'm gone in October from the 8th to the 14th.
okay. All right,
Yeah,
now,
I'm good with the 14.
No, I'm not back till the 14th.
Oh. Can you zoom in though? Because we're going to be a Zoom.
I think I'm going to be in an airplane.
What?
I'm going to be on an airplane.
Airplane.
Oh, okay.
Let me send you this.
I
And
could Zoom earlier though, so anyway.
Yeah,
you can approve it, make changes. There's a couple of things we have to figure out as far as, salary, background and experience. And as soon as we can get this approved, I will put it up. And, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
when you
So
say put it up, what are you saying, put it up?
advertise it on Ocean State Libraries and the libraries of Rhode Island, yes.
You really need a meeting next week then. So
Next
that,
week?
next week, well, because you need to review what she's gonna give you for the job description.
Yeah.
And you need to authorize her to post that. And the only way that can happen is if you have a meeting next week.
yeah, I agree with, yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
All right
So
then.
today is
Okay.
the 15th. Can we do the 23rd next week?
Yes,
I'm
I
good
can
with
do
that.
the 23rd.
September.
Yeah.
Any-
That is that Wednesday?
Wednesday, the 23rd, is that okay?
A week from today.
Okay,
11 a.m. Is that correct? Is that good?
11 a.m.?
Yeah, good with me.
It's fine with me.
So may I
Ma'am?
just ask a question to Carol? So we have to have a meeting for them to approve this. That just can't go through email, right?
Right,
Am I
Right.
understanding that?
you have to have a meeting, yeah.
So Nancy and Jeff, are you good? Meeting September 23rd, Wednesday at 11?
Yes, I am.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I'll make that.
And
Okay.
Carol, does this have to be an open meeting?
Everything has to be
Yes.
open.
Yeah.
There are very few abilities to have a closed session legally by law. So if she circulates that job description to you, you
Yep.
all individually look at it and come up with whatever comments you want. Then at your meeting next week, you'll be able to get those comments out on the table quickly. It shouldn't take long for you to say, this is our final version of the job description and we authorize Beth to post it.
And
And
is this enough time for you to post the meeting? In other words,
yes, I need 48 hours notice, so I will work with Cindy to get the basic, you really only have one agenda item, if I'm not mistaken, which is to review and authorize a job description for the
Yes.
position of director. So I
Yes.
can make the agenda for you and post it, and then it'll be all done.
Oh, good.
Okay, thank you, Carol.
well, wow, Beth, huge.
Unbelievable. It is.
Love my job. It's been a great job. I've
You're gonna
grown.
get rid of all those books first, though.
She could just come in and volunteer. You'll just come and volunteer your time.
There you go.
Whenever you want to.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations. I know for years and years, as long as I've been coming, you've been heading up that library, and it's always been for 30 years, always been a welcoming place for me to go. Thank you.
Well,
Have you told your staff?
yes, I told them yesterday and today. It was some new before, but yes, that's it. This is the official announcement.
Is
Okay.
it true? Is it true you're going to take up surfing?
Yeah, gonna sail away.
All right.
Well, Beth, you're going to be sorely missed.
It's very hard. My job has been great. I mean, it started, 3 hours, 3 days a week to now, and
Wow.
it's been a lot of changes. And I'm gonna leave now, and the new person can take it forward.
All right.
Well, we'll keep you of counsel and ask for all your ideas on how to improve and be better and how
Well,
to
thank you.
forward.
I'll be here, definitely here.
Oh, one thing that'd be helpful, Beth, is if you could just, before the meeting, send us any ideas you have of what might make your job easier or more defined, or make you happy. If you were going to stay, what would make you happier in that job? If you could just give us some, maybe think about it.
No, I hear what you're saying, but it's been so long and I've done it all. It's like, okay,
I
yes,
know.
designate work to different people. Yes. No, I will do that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Michelle.
Okay, so we are set for another meeting on,
Next week.
yeah, September 23rd at
Mhm.
11 o'clock.
Yes,
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
do we approve of it?
you
Um,
don't need to. You just told me what to do, so you're good.
Okay,
Right.
so
When I send this email, could you all just reply received, or just so I know you did all get it, okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Thank
Right.
you.
So I would like to conclude this meeting. Are we all set to conclude the meeting?
Yep,
Yes.
you can declare the meeting adjourned.
Okay, I declare the meeting adjourned at 12:55 PM.
I second it.
You don't need to. once
Oh.
you declare. You don't, when the chair declares it, it doesn't need to be seconded.
voting. Okay,
No.
perfect.
No need for a vote.
Oh, good.
So you're all done.
Thank you
Great,
very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Carol,
Carol.
thank you so much,
right.
Carol.